This is a video that I've been looking forward to making. This is one of, if not the most powerful tools in third party profits. I think that a lot of users that are coming into the software when they initially get set up, they're unaware of what the master product folder is, the capability of what it does, and how much this will change your business, not just in terms of profit, but in terms of worth. The master product folder is going to literally be exactly what the name is. It's a master list of every single item you've ever sold, that you've ever found, and it is the realest database that you can make. In the supply chain scanner, you have hypothetical numbers, you have products and UPCs and thousands of different items. But you're going to notice in your master product folder, it's substantially less. There's less products, there's less vendors, there's less opportunity until you start building what is here. This is how you're going to know whether or not you've been progressing in your business. This is how you're going to track your VAs. This is how you're going to build an asset that you can sell, whether you're working with brands, working with distributors, working with online retail stores. Most people right now are finding products and they're putting them into a Google Sheet, manually going item by item, putting something into a spreadsheet. What you're doing right there is equivalent to the master product folder, but there's technology and there's software involved. So every single item that you find, whether it's good or bad, you want to put it in here. This is going to be a watch list of all the items that you've ever found in your company. One way that I capitalize on tons of opportunity is simply buying products at the right time. If you look at products on Amazon, there's always going to be highs and lows. There's going to be low sell prices. There's going to be high sell prices. There's going to be low offer counts. There's going to be high offer counts. But what side of the equation are you on? Most of the time, if you're consistently finding yourself selling products where the price is tanking or it's no longer a good product, you bought too late. This software is going to allow you to never have to deal with that issue again if you're using it the way that I'm going to teach you in this video. So now that we've kind of gone over the use of it, it's time to go over the functionality of this specific section of the software. So the first thing is that if you need to adjust any data throughout the entire software, the suppliers that are in your restocking, the prep type, the bundle quantity, the UPC, the case quantities, everything happens in your master product folder. Why? Because when you adjust the data one time, you never need to do it again. The majority of people are going through and having to re-enter data that they've already put somewhere. With the master product folder, you don't need to do that. You never need to re-enter data ever again. This specific item, as an example, this Braun product or Baby Ganix, we can see that the case quantities in here, 24. The vendor SKU, the UPC, the bundle quantity, the prep type, which I can put and change this to, let's say, a sticker. This is now saved here for eternity. No matter how many times I buy this product, time and time and time again, I will always know what supplies I need for the product. I will always know what pack size or bundle quantity it is. I will always know the case quantity that's of the product. I will always know, and I won't ever have to double check whether my UPC or vendor SKU when I'm submitting a purchase order with my supplier is the correct item, because you didn't add it into this folder unless it was correct. Nothing lands in this folder unless the data is accurate. This is the most accurate database that you can possibly build in your Amazon business. It is the most highly profitable, the best asset you could have for your company. I cannot stress this enough. This is the asset for your business. If you want to sell your Amazon wholesale business one day, if you want to put all your hard work and put a multiple on it, you need this system. This is what you need. When someone goes to buy your business, they're buying your assets. This is all of your assets. Imagine you have a list of 5,000 products that you've sourced over the course of 3 years that's in a database, that prices are constantly fluctuating. They've been pre-vetted. They have all the right information. You can sell that to someone. That's what's valuable. Your relationships, the products you found, and the systems and the processes that you have. Right here. So now let's start to break down how to use the master product folder. So similar to the supply chain scanner, you can create preset filters and save those filters. So for an example, we're going to set filters on profit per unit, total profit, margin. Let's go with a rank. So we have those presets set here. Awesome. So now we can source all of the inventory that's in here. So maybe you want to source by a specific supplier. So let's say KeHE. And now we can see all of the products that are from KeHE on this list that I can scrape against this. And these are all highly qualified products. These items are not going to show up as being profitable unless they're actually profitable. The next thing is going to be this little pin here. So let's just say you found a product and you manually sourced it, or you used whatever sourcing method. You can pin that product. So for an example, let's say this Huggies item is an item that the price recently is selling at the lowest price it's ever sold on Amazon. But for the past year, it was very profitable, 20% margin. You just got there late. Like I said, there's always going to be highs and lows. You can click this little pin, and now this item will always show up at top. So let's scroll down and let's use a product like this Colgate. We're going to pin that product. Now, if I refresh, let's say the next day I come into third-party profits, you're going to see that that item is going to live up top. You're essentially telling the software that you want to watch this item. This item is always going to remain as one of the first items, and you can pin multiple products. That way you're seeing it every single day in the software to see if anything's changed on the marketplace. You can see if that margin's gradually increased. If the profit margin, the ROI is increased. Your profits have increased. And jump on that product and analyze, okay, the offer count's going down. Now's the time to buy. The next thing is we're also going to be able to cross-check pricing here. So we can see multiple suppliers that carry this product and at what price. So we can see here that Value Wholesale has this product as well. And the margin is 3 percentage points higher than from KeHE. So now I'm going to show you guys something that's going to revolutionize your business forever. This is one of the most powerful tools that I've never seen a software do, and it will literally change your business forever if you use it for your company frequently. So for my personal business, I'm constantly getting new catalogs from my suppliers. I always struggled with a way of scraping against the ASINs that I found with the new cost of goods. Well, with third-party profits, you can upload a file in to the supply chain scanner. You can delete the old file, refresh all the data, come into the master product folder, filter down by that vendor. So let's say KeHE. And let's find a product here. So let's go with this Bob's Red Mill item here. I'm going to change this cost on this item from 263 or 260, 263 unit. So let's make it $12 a unit. Now what I'm going to do, and like I said, imagine you filter down by the vendor, you select all, and you hit this reload for master catalog. Now watch what happens to this specific product instead of doing all the items. And just like that, we're going to see for this specific item that our cost has changed. So it went from being $12 to $263. So we can literally scrape against and see every single new cost of goods in a brand new file that we got to see if the product has become profitable instantly. Brand new file, upload it in, you select all, you refresh the cost of goods, and boom, you're looking at brand new live data of every single ASIN that you know is accurate because it has the correct bundle quantities, has everything that's correct. The only missing factor is your cost. And now that's solved because of the software. The next thing is going to be tracking your VAs. This is something I love to do within my master product folder, right? So you can filter down by a specific buyer. So let's say we're going to use Jeff. And let's just see how many products Jeff has added since February 1st that meet a buying criteria from any vendor of a profit per unit that's greater than $3, a margin that's greater than 10% after all expenses, and a rank that is between 1 to 200,000. So Jeff, over the course of the past 4.5 weeks, or I'm sorry, almost 2 months, was able to find $20,000 in profit. And you can track that data. You could do it across any VA. So let's say that now we want to track Susie. Susie's brought in $1,000 compared to Jeff, who's brought in $19,000. And this is over the course of essentially the past 60 days. So you can track every single VA. Now, to also clarify, we are not double accounting for the same ASIN. So all the potential profits in here are for specific ASIN levels from the best price you can buy the product from. So literally just like that, we can filter down and analyze whether or not our VA, our employee, is actually producing for our company. Now, something that I love to do as well is going to be the active listing here. Going in active listing, I could look at every single item that I'm currently not selling in my business. So like I said, this is a combination of products that I'm currently selling and products that I've never sold before. So I could filter down by everything is false. So meaning that there's all the products are going to show me are all items I've never sold before on my storefront. And now I'm sourcing every item that meets my buying criteria that I've never sold before. And I could filter by the highest profit to the lowest profit and see whether or not there's items I can replace, right? So maybe you're losing 5 to 10 products a month in your Amazon business because prices have dropped. You can go into your master product folder, filter down, and scrape against every single ASIN that you've ever found and see if anything's changed and replace those ASINs that you lost immediately because you have the infrastructure to do so. Also, aside of all this stuff, we have all the other columns that are on all the other sections of the software, keep data, in-stock percentages, FBA price, Amazon, box, sales rank data, offer counts, everything that you need to help you make better decisions in your business, as well as you can save preset filters here. Now, another thing as well is that we have preferences. So preferences is where you can change your shipping cost per pound or per unit. For us, we have per pound. You can also create an MSKU. You can change your buy box percentage and you can change your pricing. Last thing is going to be adding in a product manually into the software. So now if we just found a product manually that's not in the software, all we need to do is click on this add ASIN button, just enter in the ASIN from the listing, the UPC of the product. You want to make sure this product UPC is in fact correct. I highly stress this. You need to make sure that's correct. One of the best ways to do it is by going on UPC Site MD to validate the product packaging or the UPC. If a product comes up, now you know it's the correct UPC. If nothing shows up, you know it's the wrong UPC. So now that we have the ASIN and the UPC, we just want to enter the cost of that product as well. Now, I'd always recommend to just copy the ASIN. And now when we find that product, we're going to see that there's no supplier here and there's really no information on the item. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little checkbox. And if you're a brand new user, you could also select all after integrating all of your supplier catalogs and hit fetch from master catalog. This will help you integrate the majority of suppliers and information into the software. So you'll see once you hit fetch, it's going to pull in the supplier that carries that product or suppliers, the UPC, the SKU, the cost, everything like that. And you can make small adjustments if you need to. But essentially, if you had every single product that is not correctly entered, so let's say there's no supplier there, you could select all. All you need to do is just click this fetch ASIN info, and boom, it's going to pull in every single product that doesn't have suppliers, that doesn't have costs, that doesn't have vendor SKUs, and it will literally integrate like 70% of the software for you by just doing that. So now from here, we can add the products directly into working purchase orders. We kind of went over that on the previous lesson. Above, we can also click on all this and we can kind of see what vendors have the most profitable opportunities between margin, ROI, etc. And like I said, just to kind of finish off the video, anything that you need to adjust in the software is going to happen in your master product folder. Now, the reason why is because you want to adjust it one time and never have to do it again. That's the theory behind it. Adjust it once, never do it again. Don't do repetitive tasks. So once you adjust it in your master product folder, now you know that everything in here is in fact correct. You don't need to have to do additional work and spend more time to validate information. It was vetted. The only way that it got in here was by it being vetted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit longer of one, but this piece of the software is such an asset to your business. I really wanted to dive in deep as best as I could. And we're going to continue to go over some more stuff as well. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson.